Hello and welcome to another daily devotion, as this week we talk about faith and governance, faith and politics. Well, I'm so glad that politics never enters the church. Well, that's my family's pew. Well, you can't do that because their family will object. We like that pastor's sermon, but not that pastor's sermon so much. And we never see this unfold in, kind of this possessiveness of doing things the way we've done, and you new folks, thanks but no thanks. Maybe you should try, going down the street. Or let's start at the annual meeting, and we'll go in there with our votes loaded so that we can tell this pastor how it is, because we're going to split off from the church. We're going to go with a choir director down the street to the next church down the road. Not that any of these things ever happen, right? So this isn't biblical. Of course this isn't biblical. If you look in the book of Acts of the Apostles, all right, everybody's together, everybody's of one mind. When they are, but most of the time they're not. So if you look carefully, you read the book of Acts, you've got three groups. You've got the disciples, the 12, as they're known. Peter is kind of their lead. And then you have the apostles, Paul's group. They're starting to do ministry with the Gentiles and include these people. And the 12, not so sure we want these people. And then there's the brethren, Jesus' brother James. And these guys all, like Luke writing Acts, they're all of one mind, except if you read exterior writings, first century writings, and you see that one of them claims, one first century writer claims that Paul and James got into fisticuffs on the steps of the temple over an argument about whether Gentiles could be in or circumcised or not. Again, politics and policy never enters the life of the church, right? Except when they do. So what do you do when you're so certain of a belief or how something should be done, and your brother or sister is so certain it should be done the other way? Whether that's Democrat or Republican, or your yard sign wants this judge and your neighbors wants that judge, or you're down the street and you don't care. How do we exist together? Except if we see each other as valued parts of the body. Paul says it well. You're arguing over whether you follow Apollos or Peter or me. I didn't die for you. Peter didn't come in the flesh to teach you about the ways of God. We're not Jesus. We're servants. We're followers. But we're all brought into this one level playing ground by a common need. The need of love, to be loved, and the love of God to carry us to be something more, to see each other beyond our differences. Differences are good. If everybody agreed on the same thing, we never have any kind of color or imagination in life. But just got to have respect and compassion as the baseline and foundation of how we interact, because we're human beings. We are not always going to agree. We're going to have different opinions, especially with faith and politics. But what is the guideline? What is the foundation of where we start from? You can't end up hating your neighbor or turning your back to them or giving them a one-finger salute from your car if the baseline is they're a beloved sister or brother made in the image of God. Can't give up on each other that way. So faith and politics and electoral cycle, we're all anxious, nervous, when there's all kinds of speculation about when the ballots will be in, or there'll be a fair election, all this kind of angst and worry and nail-biting. In the end, we have to care for each other. And I pray that in all the mudslinging, dirty politics, we would also say, we believe in looking for the best in every person and praying for the best in every person, and starting with a different kind of rule and a different kind of kingdom to which we have allegiance, that all under allegiances are part of. but not tantamount to. May the peace of Christ, the patience of Christ, the tenacious courage of Christ to be true to who you are without giving that up, but also without violently lashing out to our neighbors, be with you in your speech and your action this election cycle as we navigate faith